What's up and welcome to Champions of Lore, a show about all the kick-ass stories behind some of Idle Champions' coolest campaigns and characters. Every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here on twitch.tv/C&E Games, or later on your favorite podcast servers, B. Dave Walters and Erin M. Evans talk about all the Idle Champions lore that's fun to know about. If you hear this live in the chat, you can leave a question that I, Treavor Bettis, will ask them later in the show. But until then, Erin, B. Dave, take it away.
I wasn't muted. Sorry.
It's okay.
It's like
someone did in the chat say that they heard a big sigh. And it's like, really? That's this week.
It was a heaving soul sigh, and I'm not gonna say which one of us it came from. Yeah. No, it's
out. Now I'm cheerful.
It's Wednesday. This week has been 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow it is Wednesday, but also still Monday.
Yeah. No, this day has been a week. Yeah.
So hello.
Hello. I'm Erin M. Evans. I'm a content designer for Idle Champions and the author of the Brimstone Angels saga, 6th series set in the Forgotten Realms, featuring 3 of your favorite Idle Champions, Freedom, and Valor. I also play Cecilia on Dungeon Scrawlers.
I'm B. Dave Walters. I say words about things. I'm the dancer of the forbidden dance. Although I'd like the record to show this time it was Erin that started winding it up.
Just to be clear, also,
yeah.
I seem to have started dancing like my mother. And I don't know. I'm kind of just going to go with it.
No, it still works, though. It still works. No, keep doing it. Yeah. I do that all over the place. Wherever fine streaming content can be located. Yeah.
We're here to talk about bards. All the bards.
Steve is very excited about this one.
Okay, dear viewer. It might not be obvious when you look at me because black don't crack, but I'm considerably older than you might expect. And I've been playing this game since a time when bards were hot garbage. And I would have been the first in line to openly mock them. And now bards are the best class in 5th edition. Yeah, they're the most powerful. They're the most versatile. They really are the best. Yeah, I mean, a lore bard is an entire party in one individual.
We have a lore bard in Dungeon Scholars, and he said his goal was to become the iPhone of the Forgotten Realms. Like anything you need to know, I look it up. So I did not know about bards in earliest editions, but this actually came up last week when we were doing our pre-show chat, that you had to get like 5 levels of fighter and then 5 levels of rogue, and then you started learning clerical spells, and then you were a bard. Is that right?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yeah,
you were just a weird hodgepodge of things that also played the flute. Yeah.
Which is a little what a bard is. Like, you can play it a lot of different ways. Mostly, I think the most important thing is you have a lot of charisma. You're very charming.
Yeah.
I mean, now currently,
right?
At their core, bards are performers.
Yes.
That is really it. In the past, there was a very common misconception that people were like, "Oh, I can't play a bard, or I have to sing," and it's like, no, you don't have to. One, you don't have to sing at the table, even if your character sings. And 2, that's not even necessarily like your type of performance that informs your bardistry.
I had a bard once that essentially was Paul Bettany from Knight's Tale, where I just yelled insults at everything evil and did cheerleading stuff for all the people I liked.
Nice.
I mean, curveball. That's you in life.
Just being your best self.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Also,
valid D&D strategy.
Paul Bettany in A Knight's Tale is just a joke. When Chaucer's first scene, when he walks by naked.
Yeah. No, like, honestly, when I think of a bard, it's just Paul Bettany going, damn, I'm good. Like, that's picturesque bard for me.
So, in the current, wait, let me look at my camera, see if I got schmutz in my face. I don't. Sorry, I'm drinking protein shake, and you guys wouldn't tell me. I know. I'd be like, brr, just here.
Be like, he might be doing it on purpose.
Yeah, you know,
that's true.
Might be
I'm performing. It's
because you do everything with confidence. Yeah, totally bard.
Thank you. You know, I got to tell you, I would probably just own it. If I just like had a milk mustache, then I'm like, this is my life now. I do milk mustaches. Yes, you know, bards are, they're performers first and foremost, but it manifests in lots of different ways. Like storytelling, a lot of times is a big thing there. Bards are absolutely Dylan Wilkes' favorite class. Dylan from Seeing the Games, very passionate bard aficionado. You should post about it and tag him and tell him I said to do it. Is you guys know
trolling a bard still? I think trolling is.
I mean that's the cutting words. I believe that is what that's called. Cutting words.
A bard spell.
Well, I mean that is vicious mockery. So here's what's funny. In D&D mechanics, they have a cantrip, and again, on the off chance you don't play D&D. Cantrips are very low-level magic that you can just do on command. You can do it well as many times as you want. And bards have something called vicious mockery, where literally you make fun of something and it dies. And there's always the going gag of like, what if you didn't know that? You didn't know you had that power, and you just like talk trash to a crocodile and it just keeled over. You're like, what?
Oh yeah,
yeah. I did. In a Tomb of Annihilation speed run, I did kill a Sararak with vicious mockery.
I love that so much.
I just read him to filth, because when I do vicious mockery, I do like actively insult, like just spill off insults at the table, and I did, and it happened to kill him. So that's the thing that I got on my checklist of dropped an archlich by burning his feelings. Yeah.
So where do we know where bards like get their magic? Are they like sorcerers? Are you just born with it?
So theoretically, there's two different things. Because for those of you that are familiar, with my character Freely, who is a champion in Idle Champions, Freely the Lucky Boy, who is a bard, paladin, warlock, sorcerer, but he's got the most levels in bard, and I do think of him as a bard first and foremost. With him, I've played him in such a way that he has zero formal training, and he doesn't know why he can do what he can do. He just like hits bad things and his sword explodes, I don't know, it just keeps working. But theoretically though, bards, you do have an innate ability, but then you choose a college, which is a group you join. It's not necessarily literally a college. Some of them are, especially if it's a lore bard. But you don't pick your college till the 3rd level. So the idea is basically you already had some aptitude for performing in magic. That is just kind of it's not like a warlock pact though, where you made a deal with somebody, and it's not like a sorcerer where you're just born with it. Like theoretically, you've just already learned enough.
You were
by
the class clown, and
exactly.
magic swirled around you.
And then you accidentally killed your teacher. Yeah, you were like,
who is most likely to be a bard?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, it's see, here's the thing. There's always those gags about the bard being the seductress of the party, but I'm like, that doesn't work well with vicious mockery if you think about it. That you're like, oh no. Yeah.
Someone put it in there earlier. I didn't see it. Oh, it was Ryan Hayden, speed rapper bard, wondering why his opponents drop out of the battle dead every time.
Exactly. And you're actually not that good of a rapper. Just everybody else dies. Yeah. So you just keep winning. Yeah. Yeah. You were like,
yeah.
Erin.
Yes.
I need you to do this for me. I need you to do this for me. A lore bard, cutting word, vicious mockery person that you try to rhyme when you're doing, and it will be
Oh no.
Oh, it'll be so good though.
Why are you so invested in making me look like I don't know how to talk? Why is this?
See, I've got another idea. Where Erin and I both do bards.
It'll be like a spoken word poet where it doesn't rhyme. And that's the point.
But,
and that's what you die of.
But you see, Erin and I both do bards. Her healing word is her laughing, and my any damage spell is me laughing. That's why I'm always over here when I laugh, because I'll blow out all y'all speakers.
That's true. That's it. Yeah, we'll call the party Tickle Fits. Yeah.
I've only played a bard once, like for a game that only lasted one session. And it was like a Goliath bard who was like a Tuvan throat singer with a drum. She was terrifying.
You're a throat singer, nice. In general, like the class, again, to go into the D&D meta for a second, the class is like a good all-purpose chassis to like multi-class into anything else, and it's also good there because you can literally do a little of everything, especially if you pick a lore bard, which we'll talk about when we get to the colleges. But I mean, like, for instance, the best healer in the game is a life cleric 1 lore bard 19, for reasons that I don't have to dive into. But yes, like they really can do a bit of whatever, and you can fill any function in the group, and it's fun to play because you have so many options. You can just do so much stuff, like in any given situation. Especially again, pending the college that you choose. And they're jack of all trades, good skills, they're good in a fight, they get up close, they're good far away. They really are, as my dear friend Dylan Wilkes likes to say, the perfect class.
Jack of all trades. Yeah. Well, let's actually go through the colleges, because we do have quite a few of them. There more have been added over the years. I'm going to do this in the order in which D&D Beyond has presented them to me.
Also known as alphabetical.
Yep. College of Creation is the first one they have up there, which is one of the more recent ones.
It is one of the more recent ones.
Let's see, bards believe the cosmos is a work of art, the creation of the first dragons and gods. The creative work includes harmonies that continue to respond through existence today, and a power known as the Song of Creation. So, that's...
Go ahead. It's just important part there at the end. The Song of Creation is revered, for legends portray Bahamut and Tiamat, the greatest of dragons, as the two of the song's first singers. So now
those are different Dragonborn, but that's fine.
Even though we know that Bahamut is dumb, now I have it. I have it in this head of like Bahamut and Tiamat singing like Donnie and Marie Osmond song, together with just willing existence into being.
I do like that better, although I have to admit I was thinking, because Bahamut's missing some that Tiamat is singing, and Bahamut's just like, yeah, what, in the background.
I mean, Tiamat provides 5-point harmony, though. You know what I mean? Like Tiamat is doing all of the Spice Girls right now. She's like willing, she's Spice Girling religion, and then Bahamut is Flavor Flav.
Bahamut is the Michael McDonald background singers.
What?
He just repeats every line every so often.
Bahamut's just like, ooh, yeah. Yeah, right.
Love it.
While Tiamat's putting in that work. I understand why she's mad. She's doing 5 times more work to get no more credit. Yeah.
So overall though, what do you guys have any interesting lore bits about creation bards?
These are, I think, fairly new, so there's not as much about it. A lot of the deeper lore is for kind of older bards, which is split. I think the older stuff is largely about College of Lore and College of Valor, kind of types.
Lore was the very first one.
I will read off what colleges we got, and then we can go into which ones have more lore about them, because again, there are newer ones. There hasn't been as much stuff in the lore besides what was written down in there.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're still cool. Yeah.
It's worth talking
about.
To
be fair, but we just don't have a lot of adding in.
Yeah. I mean, they are interesting on their own, and what these things are for is when you decide on your character concept, you can kind of pick whichever one of these is going to help shape exactly the character that you want to play. Because, I mean, again, bards kind of have a universal adapter on them. Like, they can be whatever you want them to be.
Yeah. So going from top to bottom, we got College of Creation, College of Eloquence, College of Glamour, College of Lore.
Well, hang on. So eloquence, oratory, speaking, and those kind of things, like logical arguments and things like persuasion and charm and stuff. And then glamour. Yes. And glamour is more like Fey leaning stuff, the bards that are from the Feywild have a particular affinity for the Feywild. Like, you could do a really great College of Lore Archfey Pact Warlock character.
Ooh.
That would be that would be pretty incredible.
I also just love the word glamour. It's a great word.
I'm gonna go redo my character real quick because I kind of love that idea.
I mean, unfortunately, she's not a warlock. But were you to gain some levels, right?
It's true.
Like,
true.
Theoretically,
yeah. So I think the thing I love about both of these is they're high charisma classes, and my favorite thing to do is be very convincing in D&D, which Havilar is terrible for, but that's okay. There are other things to enjoy.
She's got a 20 in confidence.
She's got 20 in confidence. Charisma is okay. She's charming, but she's not very bright. Anyway, so I enjoy this. I enjoy the concept of a bard. I think if I'm like next character I build without, expectations on it. Bard. Sorry.
Yeah, you would really enjoy it. I mean, don't apologize. He's a big fan. Yeah, I'm not even doing the dignity of checking my messages. I hear my phone vibrating and I'm like, yeah, yep. No, I highly, you in particular would really enjoy playing a bard. Both of you would really enjoy playing bards.
The thing that's largely kept me from it is that I have played at tables that are like, or with groups for things like doing True Dungeon, right? Where they're like, if you pick the bard, you have to sing. And I'm like, listen, I love singing, but I don't like singing in front of people I'm not very comfortable with. Then my throat tightens up and I sound terrible. And why would I do that? Then nobody's having fun. So no, I won't play a bard. But this is a really good point. Even in your concept of a bard, you don't have to sing. There's so many ways to be a performer. Why would you limit yourself if that's not what you want to do?
Yeah, it's always weird to me too when people are like, "Oh, you're the bard, you have to sing." I'm like, "Well, you're the wizard, you have to throw a fireball."
Yeah,
like we're playing make believe, man. The character can sing.
I would not do all that table because I'd be like, just try to stop me. I will keep rolling these dice and I will keep telling you things as if it doesn't matter. Okay, so go, you got one more?
No, I was just saying that's glamour, and especially with all of the hang on, obligatory product plug. Now that the Wild Beyond the Witchlight is out, this book is gorgeous, by the way. This is the most beautiful book Wizards has ever put out. It is, the art in here is incredible. In College of Glamour goes really well with the Feywild. That's all.
Yep. That collector's edition too. Someone put on Twitter, is like, you don't get how pretty this cover is until you see it in person. And I was just like, oh yeah, I'm sure. And then I saw it in person. Went, oh no, like really?
Yeah. The camera doesn't do it justice. It's true. It is gorgeous. Yeah.
Then we got the College of Lore, which we've talked about a bit. This is definitely our college. I actually think this was a pitched name for this show, was College of Lore. I think it was one of them.
Pretty sure it was. Yeah, and we didn't want to get sued. Yeah, so we became Champions of Lore. That is absolutely true. The cool thing about the College of Lore in particular is they can do something that no other class can do, which is they can both take away from someone else's roles and boost their own roles. So one of the first characters I played in 5th edition was a lore bard luchador wrestler, because wrestling is athletics based, not strength based. So I could beat everybody every time because you're like both.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Is it this B Dave, not me?
Yeah,
okay.
it's a
It's still bad, but
we've got technical difficulties, folks. You got B Dave handing off the topic to you.
Oh, goody! But I don't have a luchador.
I know. I don't know what to do. No.
Yeah. So champion. So
this is Dylan's fault. Somehow Dylan snuck in here and did
Dylan's
this. He's talking too much trash. We're gonna cut the feed.
Oh, so a College of Lore bard. It also gets to take spells from learn spells from other classes.
Oh, he's back. He's me.
Yay! We really want to hear more about the luchador bard.
Oh, now he's muted. You're muted in Zoom. You're muted in Zoom. Yep.
Yeah. No, that was weird. Zoom just crashed on 2 different machines, so I don't know if I had internet.
It was Dylan.
Or what.
It was 100%
Might have been Dylan.
It was
check
Dylan.
your messages.
Yeah, exactly. He was like, "It's a nice stream connection you got there. It'd be a shame if something were to happen to it." Yeah.
Vicious mockery. That's
it. Exactly. But he had to be the bard to stop the bard. So I still win. Yeah. I had a lucha.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
okay, he's back.
Oh,
you just hiccup.
I was about to say that apparently this is a forbidden story.
Someone is cutting words. Your story here.
I keep getting cutting words on my story. That's true. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna try and tell it real fast now. Here we go, you guys.
Here we go.
Yeah, a lore bard can boost your own rolls. You can give yourself a bonus, and you can take away from other people. So the gap between the rolls was always enough that I could just tackle and grapple and pin anyone, and if the restrained state is terrible, so you just hold them there and beat them to death. And my Lord Bard was basically unbeatable. They're just like rope, bang. And if you have 2 free hands, you can do it to 2 things. So I grappled 2 ogres, and I beat one of the ogres to death with the ogre, and then I beat the other one to death with the body of that one. Jeez. Well, because they couldn't get away. They were restrained. Yeah, so it was incredible. It's a lot of fun. And especially since ostensibly you're supposed to be a Brady character. Yeah. But imagine you just shoot for a double leg on somebody. You're like, ah! Boom. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Highly recommended.
So what's some lore that we've got on the College of Lore?
I'm trying to double check. That this one counts. I think he counts. So in Forgotten Realms, there is a demigod, Finder Wyvern Spur, who was originally a bard, and of the sort of cunning bard type, which is the College of Lore bard. So he was a harper, which is a sort of good guy spy in the realms. And he I think it was during the time of Troubles, he went up against Moander, who is an evil deity. I believe, forget what his deal is exactly. Oh, he's from Netheril.
Oh,
nothing good comes out of Netheril.
No. Those jerks.
Yeah, pretty much nothing comes out of
Netheril
Netheril
anymore. And corruption. There's that. He's the rotting god. And in doing so, he achieved apotheosis. I can talk. And so now, he's a minor god in the realms. He is in several novels by Jeff Grubb and Kate Grubb that are generally pretty great. But I remember forgetting things about them. This is what Dragonbait is in the game. Dragonbait is from the same books.
Oh, so, nice. I love Dragonbait.
It's a Song of the Sorials. He saves the Sorials.
Yeah, him and his holy vendor.
Song of the Sorials. Shout out to Dragonbait. Yeah. He can't talk. He communicates through smells. And I'm like, hey, me too, Dragonbait.
That's why writing about dragons and shit actually has a scratch off on the screen when you listen to it. Another one of the newer colleges is College of Spirits. The spoopy one.
College of Spirits. Boom.
Oh my God. She's got the books at the ready.
At a Van Richten's. Yep, that's where that one comes from. Yeah, it is. That one is particularly neat. Black Dice Society. Nahara is a spirit bard. I didn't know that. That's awesome. Yep. She's a warlock.
I knew she was a bard lock. I didn't know that she
yeah.
had gone for spirits. That's cool.
Spirit bard. That's why the Taroka deck's talking to her. Yeah.
That thing is creepy.
So again, you all on our show Black Dice Society, which is our Ravenloft stream, one of the characters has a Taroka deck and she'll do readings live and the cards are right 1,000% of the time. The cards are, and she's not faking it because there's things she does not know and the cards are still like, it's this. And I'm like, yep. It's bards that draw on their connection to the other side, essentially. But it comes through in the form of they're telling stories. They're telling stories about great heroes or these people, and in doing so, help their spirits to manifest, to do things for them.
Yeah, they have the spirit tales.
I think that's the newest college. I don't think there's one in Witchlight.
Correct.
I think so.
So I think Spirits is the newest.
Yeah. No, they do some cool stuff through telling tales of long past stories. It's a pretty cool idea of a bard, because one of the things you always hear in ghost stories is that like ghosts want their stories to be told, and that this is a bard fully about that.
Yep.
I kind of like,
cool.
I think you do some really fun things like this. Like you could absolutely do the like I shop at Hot Topic bard who is just all goth all the time. It's like, I speak to the dead. It's like really cool. You wouldn't understand. I'm gonna go smoke a clove right now. But you could also have like the hyper bubbly character. I talk to dead people.
So this is not a D&D game, but I played in an Invisible Sun game, and I had a lot of trouble finding a character concept because of the way I make characters. But one of the things I threw out was a therapist for ghosts. And you could build that in this. You could be a College of Spirits bard who was a therapist for ghosts, basically.
I love that. I've also always wanted to play Invisible Sun. That's a fantastic idea.
Invisible Sun after.
I see dead people.
Now we've got College of Valor, which this one in lore is always the ones that ends up getting talked about, and this one's in Idle Champions, Calliope. These are the two that you choose between for one of her upgrades, which is like College of Lore, College of Valor. I always end up going Valor because I just want damage.
How dare?
What does the College of Valor do?
College of Valor is also called a Skald. So this is you're kind of a war chanter. You are much more of a heavy hitter.
I know it always stands out for my players because it's the one that you can actually add the Bardic Inspiration die to damage in the game. That is, you can just make this such a heavy hitter for the entire group.
Yep. You can help everybody else. Swords and Valor are both very similar, but it is you basically are like a hero. Yep. I thought you were being dramatic. Yep. Valor. It's you're a heroism bard. Yep, and you can like you said, buff your teammate and help the group out with some things. Freely was very closely was going to be a Valor bard. He is a swords bard, but I went back and forth. I tell you what the coolest thing they've got is if you can get to 14th level, they can attack and cast spells in the same round, which is incredibly powerful in this game.
Oh my god!
Yep.
That's awesome.
Hero bard. Awesome. Yep. I'm telling you should do it, Aaron. Hero bard.
Okay, well, since I'm very rudely
playing another game.
I get that. Since I rudely skipped over them, what's up with Sword Bard?
How dare!
I know, I'm the worst.
That their artistry and their performance is that they're essentially martial artist bards, more or less.
This is also where knife jugglers come in.
It is.
Knife jugglers, you could be any kind of performer.
Yeah, axe thrower, whatever you want to do. Like somebody that like does performances and things, and they're very cutty, and that's what Freely is, by the way. And if you saw last night, no spoilers, when he's like, my AC goes up by 8 points, like it's that kind of stuff. Like I'm gonna hit you and you can't hit me back. Is a really great thing about swords bards, and they get the both swords bards and valor bards get double attacks like fighter classes do. So again, you just get it all. You get to do everything. That's it. It's like, you know, service guarantees citizenship, you know. It's all like become a bard, do everything. Yeah.
Oh, I did not see that Starship Troopers reference coming. That got me.
You're
good.
welcome.
I appreciate
You're welcome. Can never have too many Starship Trooper references.
It's true. Would you like to know more? College of Whispers.
There is one last thing that I didn't say about lore bards in particular. So all bards, if you get high enough, you get to just pick 2 spells from another class's spell list, which is incredible. You're like, I do what I want. If you lore bards get to do that twice. So like, I mean, again, if you are a little bit of like a power gamer, there are some spells that just like go really well together. Like that trick that I told you about the Lore Bard being in Life Cleric 1, Lore Bard 19 being the best healer in the game, is because Life Clerics at level 1 get an ability where they maximize their healing. Then as a Lore Bard, you can take the Druid spell Goodberry, and then you can summon all these berries that basically like do massive amounts of healing, just give them out to everybody in advance. Yeah. And you got magic health candy, you know, but there's all kinds of really neat synergies of like being able to pick and choose from the spells and you know, put them together in interesting and quite often unintended ways. Which again, what kind of monster would do such a thing?
Dylan actually says lore bards get magical secrets 3 times. He would know. He's the biggest fan of bards, so it's not surprising me. Yeah.
You know, as the internet's greatest advocate for bards, I'm glad Dylan Wilkes, friend of the show, expertise in this matter has been proven once again.
Yeah. So last we got College of Whispers.
Bye, Bard.
Bye, Bard.
Yeah, and I feel like it's kind of sad that Rogue's got the mastermind talent or title. Like that definitely seems like that should have been a Bard thing.
They already set up the shtick of College of. But yeah,
that's fair.
That and every Bard thinks they're a mastermind.
Upside high charisma, downside huge ego.
I mean, is it cocky? Is it cocky when it's true? Yeah.
You're right. Like
tagline for a bard.
The College of Whispers is definitely the spy bard, but I do love that they're like, okay, yeah, but like, what else can we have? I know, we'll give him blades he can kill people with his mind.
I mean, imagine like all bards can talk you into a grave, but these like they can this like literally like Psylocke. Like I'm just gonna summon a blade of mean words and then stab you with it. You know, like just really just.
Yeah, they're like, your mother is very disappointed in you.
You know, yeah. You're like, your mother's very disappointed in you, but she likes me a whole lot.
They come up behind B Dave. The Last Jedi was a good movie.
In my head, this is like, it is actually made of like little crawling words of light.
Ooh.
You are actually being stabbed with the phrase, The Last Jedi was a good movie.
I'm like, activate barbarian rage feature. Yeah. It's yeah, you can you can they can do things like plant paranoia and like dissension in people's minds with their words of terror, you know. They can change the way they look so they can like sneak in and out of places. I mean, they are the roguiest rogue in their bards, which if you kind of caught on, all of these colleges are like, hey, you're a bard, what if you want to do what other people can do, sometimes better than they can do it? Then this is the college for you.
That is true. Yeah.
Do you want to play a bard now?
I know.
Yay,
mission
so cool. Accomplished. Just do it. Yeah. I mean, you know, again, you should just talk to Dylan. He can give you a lot of pointers on
maybe he'll run an all bards game for us.
We'll call it oops all bards.
Actually, I did see someone earlier talked about like having an entire group of bards. I haven't had a chance to listen to it, but I've heard about there is actually a podcast game called Bombardment where they're apparently a band, the real life band that plays D&D. They all rolled bards. and play a game, but they actually do come up with songs on the fly as they're playing. Haven't listened to it, but I heard it's really good. Dylan says we ran an all bards game with Satine for Battle of the Bards.
That's right.
That is true. I was about to say I've been in an all warlock game. I've never been in an all bard game, but that's true. Satine's done a few all bard games.
Yeah.
Now that that's all Sirens of the Realms.
Yep.
That's what it
Yeah.
was.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, they all are bards.
Zlanya
Yeah.
and Ariza and blanking on who else. Anyway, those characters are also bards.
Yeah.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
Ariza a bard. She's like a bard cleric.
Ariza. I think
Ariza's a bard cleric. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, is she just a cleric and Christina's really good at singing? Did I get confused?
Porque no los dos.
That's true.
I would just like to say somebody should do a Whisper Bard 14 Assassin Rogue 6. That'd be a great character. That'd be a great character.
So I didn't realize that we did actually skip over one of like the bard's like most distinguishing features, and something that C&E has a show named after, which is Bardic Inspiration.
Oh, that's true.
I wore that shirt yesterday. I should have worn it today. That would have been so good.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, but the lore bard, that's what cutting words is. So so you have all bards have this pool of a die that goes from a D6 to a D8 to a D12 that you can give to someone else to help them. But then some of the classes can do different things with those as well, like the Valor Bard adding it to damage, or the Swords Bard adding it to their, AC or things like that. And the lore bards have an ability called cutting words, where you roll that and you take it away from the other person. And they also, lore bards are the only ones that can give the bonus to themselves. Other bards have to give it away. Lore bards are like, no, I know what to do. Yeah. I'm deeply inspired by my own genius. Yeah.
Yeah, Bardic Inspiration is definitely one of the features that I absolutely love the most, just because it's like, you know what? You're doing real good. Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely remember to give it out more than actual inspiration when I'm the DM.
I almost never give out real inspiration when I'm the DM.
All the time.
Well, because I feel like it's one of those things that you either got to do a lot of or not a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where you're like, you did a good, here's a cookie. You know what I mean? Then everybody else is like, I too would like cookies.
Hey, funny thing about cookies, I like them as well. Yeah, and I believe you can do it a number of times per day equal to your charisma mod.
Mm-hmm. But a minimum of once.
Minimum of one.
We have our bard in Dungeons Scrawlers is a half orc named Stong who plays outsider music. Stong's strength is his strength. He has a literal I think he it was above 22, but there was an evil book involved and we took it away from him. So he's like a 20 strength and he has an 8 charisma. And this was intentional, right? Like Yang Yang wanted to build a character that was like, can you play a bard and still use these other things while having like this terrible charisma, because your music is awful. And off-putting. So he does still get, even though he has -1 modifier, still does have a Bardic Inspiration die.
Did you say his name is Stonk?
Stong. Like Sting, right. but not.
Right. Got
Stong.
it. Because I was thinking the meme, Stonks going up. Yeah, right.
Where Aaron, when you were describing this build, I literally saw B-Dave's like min-maxer flinch. Just
Did you see it? Did you see a couple hours come off my life when they said it out loud? Yeah.
Yang makes a challenge.
And
he's a delightful character.
Really is.
It's I mean, I guess.
He's still very smart. He's got the lore, uses that with the lore Valor stuff, and he's our tank. So
no, I again proving the thesis that bards can do anything.
You pick spells specifically that have that tend not to have an attack roll, that have a saving throw, or maybe that's not it. Anyway, that it doesn't matter. His charisma doesn't count.
Right. It's the opposite. The attack roll and not a saving throw.
Yeah. There we go.
Because this stuff's easy to beat. Yeah. This is the thing that comes up quite often, dear friends, where people are like, well, I shouldn't have to play an optimized character to have fun. And I'm like, that is absolutely true. 100% true. And you can even play substandard builds in setups if that is still going to be enjoyable, as long as you have the consent of everyone at the table. Because pending the type of game you're playing, if you're playing a very intricate, difficult game, and one person is, herp derp the rock gnome, that's not fun for anybody. But I mean, but if that's not the game you're playing, like, and I have to be cognizant of this. 'Cause again, Black Dice Society, when I told them they could do anything they wanted, and Becca's like, I want to be an Air Genasi barbarian. My first answer legit was, for what? And then she kind of explained to me her thought process, and just that she thought it was cool. And I was like, well, these are characters we got to play a long time. So yeah, okay, sure. But I was like, that's new. Because also you all have to remember, again, due to my advanced age, I'm a product of a time when there were race class requirements. That only certain races could do certain things, which, don't get me wrong, I hate that. Definitely needed to go the way of the dodo.
Yup.
But it's not that certain races must do certain things, only that maybe certain races should do certain things. But yeah, it's 5e is very forgiving in that respect. So if you wanted to have a character that was bad at that character's core competency, then I'm like, yeah, sure, have at it.
Okay, so Yang Yang texted me, you need to add that all spells I pick either affect allies or don't involve saves. Basically
Right.
maneuvering around the negative. Because to be fair, Yang Yang also likes a min-maxing. I think he just enjoyed the challenge too, because it would be, easy to build a really effective character,
That
while the
checks
rest of us are like, I'm going to describe my story because we're all writers and we have a problem. So this is a good in between.
No, hey, well, again, hey,
And he is very effective. I want to be really clear about that. Stong is very effective.
Zone of safety, Yang Yang, zone of safety. I mean, Freely began as a thought exercise that I was like, I know I can do a 4-class character that is all based on charisma, and everybody told me I couldn't, and that's what I was like, okay, watch. And it turns out he's worked magnificently. So I very much get being like, here's the thing that you're telling me is gonna be a bad, but I'm pretty sure I can make it a good. Super valid.
Love it.
Super valid.
All right,
zone of safety.
Let's check in with the viewers, see what they've been doing in chat. Let's see. Cassie's 335 starts off. Oh, by the way, I do want to say I'm trying to do this more often at the beginning. These questions were gathered by Mars and Jay, who are our moderators today. So thank you for grabbing these questions. Cassie's 335 says, bards need to share the wealth. Imagine the martial classes: fighter with jack of all trades, or wizard with wizard getting magical secrets from the right books. Yeah, but also like, nah.
Get good, be a bard.
Yeah, there's a real easy lesson. Be a bard.
Be a bard. Yeah, I can solve that problem for you. Be a bard. Yeah. No, it's 5th edition is the most balanced of these, because it didn't used to be this way. There was times that, like, literally there was points in 3 and 3.5 where druids had an animal companion, and druids animal companion, just their animal companion, was better than a fighter, like numerically, like had better hit points, better attacks, everything. It was like, my pet is more useful than you. 5th edition has smoothed that out some.
Yeah.
So if you ever hear about druids being described as bears that ride bears that can shoot bears, that comes from
just both.
Yeah, it's true. They had their companion, they're well shaped, and they cast, summon monster, and a bear riding a bear that shoots bears.
Let's
I'm
see.
also a little like, you know what? Warlocks only get like a handful of spells that are just for them, and then they don't get to grab everybody else's spells. So wizards, keep your freaking hands off my armor of Agathis. That's not for you.
I appreciate as the bard is like, what? Oh, sorry.
I will say,
so
though,
charming though. How could I say no?
I 100% have built a bard that could cast Eldritch Blast just to piss off my DM.
I mean, it's fair. It's also confusing, but
I just took Magic Initiate for charisma.
Like, I want the story to make sense. Why do you suddenly get to do this without having a deal?
Because he was just that cool. No, I think the actual joke that I had, he was a stage magician. And so he wasn't actually doing Eldritch Blast. He was doing something that he made look like Eldritch Blast.
I like it.
Yeah.
You have to go have tea with an archfey and convince her that this is a good thing to do. Give me this cantrip.
I was about to say, in that situation, I'd do one of two things. Either some fiend gave it to you just to grief everyone else, just to watch everybody else's face, or a quasi sorcerer thing where you had an eighth of a drop of fiend blood, you know what I mean? And it just manifested in this one way, which if you think about it in the real world, that would be so incredibly useful. You're like, hey child, would you like shotgun eyes? There you go. You know, you're like, I would.
I would be tempted to give it to you and be like, okay, but at some point you're gonna come, the archfey or the heart, the fiend or whatever is gonna come ask you for a favor. It's not gonna be a pact level favor, but it's gonna be something. You have to help them move or something.
You have to help them move. This is
that's a pact level favor. What am I talking about?
This is from Wahi_G. I'm gonna guess that's how you say it. Question. This is in reference to talking about the magic of it. Is it magic though, or is it science? It feels like science. Music and vibrations are clearly science. They affect all matter with predictable effects that follow experimental rules. That sounds really cool for an Eberron campaign.
Well, I mean, we just had a talk with our dear friend Keith Baker, and that was one of the things he was saying is that magic is stable and repeatable, and that is the definition of a science. Which, I mean, realistically, in this world, the magicians would be the scientists. So, yeah,
plausible. Yeah. I do think Bards. It seems very, particularly considering it's based off your charisma. Like a lot of this is like hitting people in the feels.
Oh yeah,
do you make them feel good, or do you make them feel terrible?
Or do you make them feel dead?
Do you make them just lie down and die?
I will hit
of
you
their
in
embarrassment.
The feels. I'll stab you with feels.
Stab you, yeah, exactly.
Sorry, a pop-up came up on my computer that just made me very angry. So this is from Rex Verdi. I don't know why this name always messes me up. I'm so sorry. Roast as a group attack. This is for a group of bards where you just have a roast. Yeah,
roast. Yep.
All of a sudden the lights go out, spotlight comes up on the bugbear. Yo, we're fighting like this guy. Oh my God.
Boo.
I think I would just yeah, that would just be ridiculous. Ryan Hayden, why is the opposite of vicious mockery called inspiration and not something like a furious cheering or so?
Yeah, like you can do it.
You're just the Shia LaBeouf friggin' like videos like, do it! Believe in you! That would be such a good character.
Mm-hmm.
It's Shia LaBeouf just pacing around the battlefield.
Yeah, that's a Scald. That's a Valor Bard.
Banana Mobster asked, would a Goliath bard sing death metal? Yes.
That was kind of what I was going for.
Yes.
Was that she basically was like kind of screaming her songs, playing her war drum, but then also, I mean, that was like a 2-person D&D game, so we only had one other player, but she did think he was this tiny fragile person, so she was very maternal toward him because he was so little. This little great old one warlock she was just like, you need to eat some soup.
You need to eat some soup. Reaver,
I'll sing you a soothing song. It goes like this.
All right, now we're just gonna sing you a little lullaby to get you into bed there.
Goliath children fall asleep too. Sorry,
that would get B Dave to fall asleep.
You're lying, but I mean, I very much could sleep to metal.
Yeah. I wasn't lying. I said that fully knowing a fact.
Not lying, joking, but yes, not lying, joking, but yes.
Reaver 01 says, a bard specializing in somatic component spells using a silent spell meta magic feat. I guess you could say it would be he would mime his own business. I do like that. This is a good one.
Sit in the corner and think about what you just did.
Gaseous 3.
You know, I will tell you, there's many times as a parent, and Erin, I believe you will agree with me on this, that they do something and you must discipline them, but on the inside it is both proud or hilarious. So you like discipline them, and then you have to walk away for a second and be like,
get ready to do that again. Cassius 335 question. I may have asked this a few episodes back, but would you call the version of heal of vicious mockery healing verb?
Well, I would not.
Spray bottle. No.
Lobo Lord says Tiamat makes the THX opening sound, but split into a horrific discordance instead of an awesome harmony. That's good stuff. Let's see what time we got. Okay, we're doing pretty good. Let's see. Garwar says if the rogue doesn't have to do their backflip, the bard doesn't have to sing.
Yep. Valid.
Yep.
Valid.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm like I will sneak up and gank someone though, and they're like, no, don't. Actually.
Non-bread loaf. I might take this. I might use this at some point. Vicious Mockery is a painter drawing curly mustaches on the hair on your foes. County Coup, this is in reference to B-Dave's luchador. Did you wear a mask when you did it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, of course.
That's awesome.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, you got to live the gimmick sometimes.
Rex Verde comes back and says, could there be a clown bard college? Lots of illusion spells and damage absorption.
I would burn that college to the ground.
To the ground.
Yeah, just nothing but vengeance paladins and valor bards just coming over the horizon to just decimate the clown college.
Oh,
so, you could play a clown bard, you just shouldn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can, but don't.
Don't though. Yeah. Like I mean, don't go to your table and be like, but B-Dave said no. B-Dave said don't.
Yeah. Finish the whole sentence. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Clip this. Show them the whole thing in context.
Possibly the most appropriate person to have in the chat for this episode. Critical Bard is here. And hello, Critical Bard. Thank you for being here. Says Eloquence Bard, in my personal opinion, do bards the most justice. Unsettling words is what they need.
Yep. Completely agree.
Eloquence Bard is badass.
Yep. Completely agree.
I think I will wrap this up with Rex Verde saying, cannot criticize other people's characters' names. I have a bugbear NPC named Stronk Magonk.
I mean, literally not all heroes wear capes, though. So, I mean,
it's true. All right. Well, I think that is all the time we're going to have for lore and questions today. B-Dave, Erin, where can people find you? What awesome things you working on?
You can find me on Twitter at Erin M. Evans. You can listen to me talk with these guys about writing on our podcast, Writing About Dragons and Shit, which you can download wherever you find fine podcasts. And yeah, coming up, that cool Keith Baker episode we mentioned, although that one will be
next week.
Yeah.
This week is Making Heroes.
But we talked about it, so I just want to point at it.
It's true.
You can find me on twitch.tv/Dungeon Scrawlers, first on Mondays at 1:30, although this Monday might be a little different, so watch our Twitter. For Concentration Check, a co-writing show where we all get focused and get some words done together. And then on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m., that means tonight, for Dungeon Scrawlers, an actual play show featuring a bunch of fantasy writers. And then on Monday, do I do this one or are you going to do this one? On Monday, join us for Idle Champions Presents The Trials of Mount Tiamat, DM'd by the estimable B.J. Walters. And I will be playing Havalar, and hopefully Tiamat won't eat me.
Let's be real. Would that stop Havalar from fighting her?
No, you got to keep swinging the whole way down. I will tell you, dear friend, and this is true, in the pre-game session, I was like, I'm going to make it difficult. I'm going to try and kill you all. And I kept using killing Baloth as the example. And then I was like, I should stop talking about killing Baloth. All right, so if I kill Havalar, then I was like, wait, I can't kill Havalar. So, yeah.
That should be a good crazy time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Grand old time. It's just, the mother dragons. It's fine.
No big deal. Peter, what about you?
I mean, I do that stuff. Again, I arrange my affairs in such a way to spend the maximum amount of time with Erin. But I'm somewhere doing something currently 6 days a week. I'm trying to avoid 7. Yeah.
I love how you say that. And then, like, in reality, the time we spent together is this little sliver of your massive creative output. But that's scheduling for you.
And yet, it is still the maximum amount that I'm capable of. Yeah, stuff all over the place. Things. But Black Dice Society, Thursday. Well, wait, let me do it real quick. Demiplanar on Monday, Heroes of the Plains on Tuesday, both of those on Demiplane Twitch. Wednesdays, this right now, hi. Thursday, Black Dice Society at 4 on D&D Twitch and YouTube. Friday, LA by Night. We got 3 episodes left to the end of the Chronicle, and I cannot underline how much that it is the end of the Chronicle. Ooh. So 3 episodes left. And then Sunday is the Gax Pack, and then some other stuff that is coming that I can't announce because of NDA bullets, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. And then Monday, Trials of Mount Tiamat for 7 weeks, 7 episodes, 7 episodes. Oh, and we'll be voting. I guess voting opens.
Voting opens
has already
today.
started. If you have not already for yesterday's, you can go vote right now. You have 6 minutes to go do that vote until the next one starts.
Go vote.
We're not supposed to talk about the next vote, but remember, people, you love me, and therefore you love Valor, right? Right?
I mean, it sells itself.
It does.
Just in general for all of these.
I also want to point out real quick, Vancouver by Night in the chat says B-Dave works 18 days a week, and I can't tell you how true that is.
Y'all.
You can find me on the Difficulty Class Podcast every Friday, as well as on Twitter at the Treavor. There is an A hiding in there. Thank you to Jay and Mars for moderating in the chat and doing a fantastic job. And thank you to Codename Entertainment for giving us a chance to talk about some fun D&D stuff. If you missed any part of this show, you can catch it later at some point when I have time to not be in a meeting and make a podcast. It will be on your favorite podcast service to listen to. And if you have any suggestions for future topics that you'd want us to talk about, you can send those into championsoflore@codenameentertainment.com. If you're live with us right now, we got Mars's Guiding Hand at 1, and then we have Sketching Hour at 3, so be sure to stick around and come back for those. But that is going to do it for this week's episode. So until next week, Champions out.